The Last Calabash. In a quiet village nestled beside the Omo River in Ethiopia, lived an old woman named Ma Emini. She was known for weaving stories and crafting calabashes, gourds carved with the histories of her people. Each line etched into the hardened shell told of births, battles, reigns, and songs long forgotten. After her husband died and her children moved to the city, Ma Emini lived alone, speaking more often to the wind than to people. Yet, each morning she sat by the fire, working on her last calabash. The villagers often wondered what story she was carving. No one dared ask. Her eyes, deep and unreadable, held the weight of unspoken memories. One afternoon, a young boy named Beo wandered into her hut. His father had died in the mines, and his mother sold plantains by the roadside. He barely spoke, but his eyes were thirsty. Ma Emini noticed him lingering. "Sit," she said softly. And so he came. Day after day, Beo sat in silence while Ma Emini carved. She never asked why. Instead she began to speak, not in grand tales but in whispers. She spoke of how the river once sang, how her first child danced under the baobab tree, how the stars guided warriors home. Beo listened, his heart stitching itself back together with every story. Then one morning she handed him the calabash. "This," she said, "is yours now. I carved my joys, my losses, the blood and honey of this land. But it's not finished. There's still room." Beo looked up. "For what?" "For your story," she smiled. Ma Emini passed away that night, as the moon hung low and warm. Years later, Beo returned to the village as a man. In his hands he carried the calabash, worn, cracked, and still unfinished. Children gathered around him, just as he once had. And he began to speak, not just of pain, but of hope.